Hello and welcome to Career 101. I'm Matthew. Thanks for joining me here. At Career 101, I give you information to help you kickstart your career and get the most out of it. So today I'm going to talk about interviewing, specifically the interview, the big interview. You actually have to go in somewhere and talk with them and convey why you're the person for the job. So this can be daunting, but I'm going to give you some information to be helpful. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So the interview. Let's talk about some basics. Be prepared, dress appropriately. I've got a couple other sessions on preparation and one on dressing appropriately. So you don't want to feel out of place or unprepared. Bring a notebook and something to write down. You bring any sort of notebook, could look like this. This is a simple moleskin one, could be a 3-ring binder. You want a writing instrument and you want something to write with, basically, that shows you that you're paying attention and taking notes. Scope out the location and the parking in advance. You don't want to show up and realize, oh, I don't know where to go to find the suite, or hey, parking's $8 and I didn't bring any money, or something like that. So just a couple of days before, go check it out in advance. You want to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. You don't want to be someone showing up 5 minutes late. Remember, the interview is a key part of giving a first impression and demonstrating to the company and the people interviewing you what you're all about. So arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. I've had people show up 15 minutes early, check in, and I'm getting a call from the reception saying, hey, they're here and ready. I'm like, well, I'm not ready at all. So then they're waiting around for 15 minutes. So I think ideally show up 7 minutes in advance, tell the person at reception, hey, you know you're early, but you're here for this, you're happy to wait. Next, be warm with that person behind the reception. You don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to say, hey, this person's, in this low position. I don't want to talk with them. I don't want to be nice. Be warm, because I've actually at times come back after an interview and followed up to the receptionist and say, what did you think of this person? Next, firm handshake or fist bump or whatever it is. When you meet the people you're interviewing with, make eye contact. If they hand you a business card, actually look at that business card, do a quick glance. If you're interviewing, say, with 4 people at once, a great technique is to arrange the business cards in front of you in the order that these people are sitting. That helps you remember names. Be engaged during the interview. Take some notes. You've done the research. You're ready for this. You know the questions. So you have your notebook open, write down a note or two, maybe have your cheat sheet of answers right there in your notebook, have some extra resumes, all these things. A great question to ask, especially if you can ask it early in the interview, is what would the ideal candidate be? What are the characteristics around that? Because then you can tailor your answers around that ideal. And then finally, ask what the next steps are. You've done this interview, it's nearing the end. Make sure you understand what the next steps would be. Who's going to follow up with you? Where are they in the decision process? Are they interviewing other candidates? This can be very helpful information. But most importantly, make sure you tell your story. I talk about this in interview prep on the questions. You want to be clear at what you are trying to convey to the audience, to these people there. It may be that you only have a brief amount of time with each person. It may be you're bouncing from person to person. Make sure you're able to tell your story. So that's it. Thanks for joining. Check out my other videos on interviewing. I think they can be helpful. And once again, thanks for joining Career 101.